I want the power of deciding when to have children. I want the power of loving like a man. I want the power of picking when to get married. I hate being a woman. Forced to wait and hope and dream while men decide when to love. They decide whether or not they want to be your boyfriend, while I sit there, shit out of luck, hoping to be noticed. I hate being a woman. I was right about wanting to be a boy. My heart is so masculine. I don't know how it fits into this body.
Pull it up one more time. I'm sorry. I got to reference a couple things here. Okay, so just keep it pulled up, actually.
Anyways.
So you're a giver. So like you like to peg guys? Is that what you're saying? Have you pegged a dude?
No.
Okay, just checking. You hate your entire anatomy being the receiver.
Yes.
Wait, so do you have like sexual hang-ups on this front?
No, it's not in that way at all.
Like you don't like sex, or?
No, it's not in a sexual way at all. It's more so relationship dynamics.
I totally get what you're saying, and actually that goes along with Carl Jung's theory of he theorized that every female body system had a male soul, and vice versa.
All right, pull it back up, please.
And I think
right.
Masculine, you could say masculine and feminine.
Okay.
It's an energy thing.
the reason this whole idea of a gendered soul, I think that's what drew me to that.
Let me just read these line by line and we'll go through it. Okay. You want the power of deciding when to have children. But so women hold all the power on that front. So
Men give you the children.
What's that?
Men give you the children, in my opinion.
Well, you need a man to have children, but
Yes.
you have, as a woman, you could go out with the intention of getting a sperm donor, like this lady over here. You could go on a tear, just to have a bunch of one-night stands and get knocked up. As a man, it's a little more difficult to I want to have, you could tonight or the next month. I don't know. It depends on your cycle, whatever. You could get pregnant this month if you wanted to.
I guess.
Do you think as a guy I could be yo, I'm trying to get a bitch that's going to have the kid?
Oh, these narcissistic ones will. They'll get you pregnant. That was probably his next move.
Okay, just let her talk, please. So I'm a little confused here. Women have all the power when it comes to this.
That was written emotionally.
Okay.
I was just frustrated.
Okay. All right. The power of love. So next line, I want the power of loving like a man. What does that mean?
Being the initiator. When you go out on dates, it's them who decides, do I want her as my girlfriend? It's not you. Do I want to chase her? Do I want to take her out again?
Well, this is kind of a mutual thing, right?
Yeah. It can.
I've been on plenty. I've been on plenty of first dates where I wanted to continue seeing the girl.
Yeah.
And she wasn't feeling it. So it's not like this weird thing where as a guy, every single girl you go on a first date with, you get to make the determining factor of she's going to be my girlfriend.
Yeah. It's situational.
Maybe it's a little lack of experience too. If you're kind of just starting to get out there and date, and you had that one bad experience that took up a lot of time, plus the healing from that.
Yeah.
Let's pull it back up.
It's like a 5-year
Hey,
process,
being a woman,
perhaps,
I want the power of picking when and get married. Forced to wait and hope and dream while men decide when to love. So who's forcing you to not approach guys at the club?
I guess that goes back to me wanting to chase and being the more dominant one,
But you, by your own admission, you
acceptable.
don't. How is it not socially acceptable?
Apparently, I don't know. I'm just following what...
She just hasn't been able to find mates, so she's just assuming that what she's doing isn't working.
I'm just following what the women around me
Do you think if you go to a nightclub and you go up to a guy...
Don't follow it.
If you go out to a nightclub and you go up to a guy who you think is attractive, which you admit to have never done, and you just...
One time.
Say,
but not at the club.
Hey, what's up? Are you single? Blah, 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 whatever. You think the lights are going to turn on and the music's going to stop. Everybody's going to do an about look.
No.
And just be whoa, I can't believe a woman has dared to approach a man. Do you think that's what's going to happen? Or do you think nobody in the club is going to even notice or give a... nobody in the club is going to care. So explain to me how it's not socially acceptable.
I guess that's just the impression that I've gotten from guys.
But you said you take on a more masculine role,
Yeah.
and you like to be the initiator.
That's
you like to be the
why,
chaser,
yeah.
but you don't.
Not
The
at
masculine
club.
thing is to say, society tells me I'm going to do this shit anyways. So are you really masculine?
I mean, no, but in some ways, yeah. Like, I am the initiator, and I do like a chase.
In fact, I'd be prepared to say that it's way more, at least now, it's actually way more risky for men to approach women than the reverse. If I approach some girl in Trader Joe's and I like creep her out or whatever, that's gnarly.
I mean,
but if you're
that's
some
true,
chick and
yeah.
you go up to a dude in Trader Joe's, nobody gives,
Yeah.
nobody cares.
No, it's not the people around you, it's the guy. It can come across as
Yeah.
desperate, or
I think
she
when
just
you're
wants to
really
hook up.
beautiful too, you almost kind of got to downplay your looks because guys aren't used to being approached, and then it's a pretty woman doing it, and then it's a little like, at least I am very forward with guys. Brian knows this. I'm just like, if I want you, I'm gonna go tell you I want you. But they almost like have this freeze response, like deer in a headlight. Like they don't really know, and then a lot of them like miss. I'm still trying to give them an opportunity to like the number exchange or whatever, but I kind of am as forward as possible, and then they fumble it so many times. So then I'm like, I don't know if they could handle me if they're fumbling. Like I'm just trying to get your number,
Yeah.
or I'm trying to tell you you could have my number if you wanted. I like talking to you or whatever, you know.
Nothing
I don't
applies to you though because you're crazy. Like they just detect your.
Well,
so
I
it
know.
doesn't
I'm
even
on
work.
that scale. I'm like the
Actually, no,
the
there's-
hot crazy scale.
Well, actually,
okay.
guys are so
It's okay.
desperate.
No, you took a nosedive off of that scale. That scale doesn't even exist in your paradigm.
Well,
You're in like
I
the
guess.
Baba Booey mentally ill should be locked up in an asylum style scale. You're
Well, that's why
way
I work
off
at
the
home.
regular Richter scale.
That's why I work at home, so I don't have to be out there menacing society.
You're living in a prison of your own invention. Like there's
I mean,
a prison
yeah,
for your
I'm
mind.
just-
Nobody is forcing you. Like if,
No,
and it
you're
sounds like
right.
you're desirous of taking on the more masculine role of being the initiator, being the chaser.
I mean, I agree.
But there's
with
like
you.
there's a contradiction here. On one hand, you say that, but you also said you're very you don't approach men
Not at clubs.
or bars or in person or at Trader Joe's.
That one time. No, I'm just going off of my experiences so far and the impressions that I've had received.
Okay, pull up the tweet again. I guess I'll get through the rest. They decide whether or not they want to be your boyfriend. While I sit there shit out of luck, hoping to be noticed. Well, so like, are women owed relationships?
No, I think God decides what relationship you have in the end, if you have one. I don't think I'm owed one. I would like one. I've always wanted something normal. But
Okay.
no, I don't think anyone is owed
All right.
anything.
We'll try to get through all these. Oh,
I have a question. You just said that God decides if you have a relationship or not, but
I
in that
believe.
same tweet, in that same tweet, you say that men decide.
Yeah. I think that's more so like my own experiences. They have decided whether or not they wanted to be my boyfriend, whereas I had already liked them.
Well, it follows with a patriarchal society because essentially in the hierarchy, God would have the closest connection and accountability. Like it would be God, man, woman, children, and then like it does follow that you trusting God is actually you trusting God through a man
Yeah,
to
exactly.
approach you and be like a soulmate or the right match for you,
Exactly.
essentially.
Yeah.
And I would agree with that.
Yeah.
In this societal construct. That's why, in a sense, I just kind of live a non-traditional life because this patriarchal society has kind of canceled me from being able to, not that it would never be possible, but I have always thought of myself as damaged goods because I wasn't raised by a good dad. My dad raised me to be a sex worker. So I felt like as soon as I went that path, even though it wasn't for me, I actually rebelled and took the whole religious traditional path. I rebelled against my family. And then I was outcast from my family.
Yeah, this is it's always such cope from you, man, when you say that. Like, oh, my dad did this. Everyone else is always responsible for everything Desiree does except Desiree. Everybody's always responsible for everything you do except you, right? Nobody is forcing you to do sex work right now. You do it because you want to do it.
Well, I have this whole experience of all of my life and skeletons in my closet essentially being like national headlines. It led me to have to...
Done by Desiree. All orchestrated and done by Desiree. All of it produced by Desiree, right? So the thing is like, I didn't want anybody to know my life story that I put in a book and then went on several podcasts to explain about incessantly. It's like, come on, you orchestrated all of it, right? You got to stop being such a victim all the time.
I was simply saying that the state is actually recognizing my case with family trafficking, and I'm actually able to now seek restitution for the damages that were done from my family. So that's awesome. And
I don't know what that has to do with what I'm saying to you.
Well, I'm just simply saying that I'm, in a sense, like ending that chapter of my life where I don't need to keep talking about how I was victimized, because restitution will be made. I'll be set up financially, and then at that point, we'll see if I keep doing modeling or not, because my family owes me like $15 million.
Bro, I don't think we're gonna derail on that one, but let's just try to get through all the tweets, and then we can, yeah. I was right about one. I don't know, you seem pretty feminine.
She does.
You're pretty feminine.
You are very feminine.
Masculine.
That's why I'm trying to encourage you. Like, it was a bad experience. Not
you
all
sure you don't
guys
want to
are
peg
like
somebody?
that.
Is that it? You sure you don't want to peg?
don't.
She doesn't want to peg. She doesn't want to peg.
I think
You seem pretty feminine.
I've been that way since I was younger, and I think that's why I was driven to the whole gendered soul thing. Is
Wait, can we
I
just
didn't
maybe wait
understand.
until a lot of people up at the table right now? Maybe we just wait until. All right, let's do the next tweet, please. It's old, or can you read this one?
it's always the pretty ones.
Wait, hold on, Austin. Can you make it smaller so we can see this video playing while she... a little bigger? Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, go ahead.
It's always the pretty ones because we become sick of the bullying from females and males not seeing our personalities or any depth. We decide to destroy our appearance as much as possible so that maybe someone will love us for who we are inside. That's one thing I grieve after reverting back. I miss being a person.
And this video, it's a video that you're reacting to. You got a girl here, and she absolutely destroys her appearance. Absolutely destroyed. Damn, that's a big rip in the chat. Okay. Next one, I guess. I just thought that was interesting. Can you scroll it back up? I think too big. No, I think it's too big. One down. Yeah. You for real cannot talk to a single woman or man these days without them having 5 new bodies every single month. Is this about Vivian?
No.
Actually, 5 in total.
And
So-
5?
Huh?
Wait, 5
5 in what?
body count?
Yeah.
And 2 of them...
More like last week.
Wait, what was your body count last time?
3.
Oh, okay, so you added...
Sorry, 3.
Okay, all right. Pull it back
Yeah,
up. really-
she was doing some confidence stuff, though.
Yeah, it was
So,
boosting
you know,
her.
Ovulating.
Boosting her
Ovulating.
confidence.
Damn.
Me? No, that wasn't confidence. I just
How
wanted to have
many do you
sex.
think it's going to be? Like, do you have a guess? Like, if we're doing predictions, like, how many do you think by 19?
I feel like I've been dissuaded. I feel like I'm better off like doing like getting that from myself. You know?
Masturbation?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like because I don't have to be rejected, or like feel like anxious about like if he's gonna like text me back and like it's just easier.
So you're just going to be a celibate for the next forever, or?
Well, No, that's not the plan. Like, but I wouldn't. I've been dissuaded from hookups because I can honestly like do it myself. I don't really need. It's not really worth it.
The sex with the guys was not better than what you could do with yourself,
Yeah.
like pleasure-wise. So it's not really worth the risk emotionally, health-wise, all that.
But like
I'm pretty sure women have sex for more than just pure physical reasons.
No, yeah. I mean, for me, it was like, yeah, I could do that on my own, but I did want the like emotional, connection. But I don't like connect with people that easily. I feel like it's a big investment.
Okay. Next one, I guess. Next tweet. In my opinion, wait, what? Oh, okay. Can you read this?
The original tweet is, I don't like telling guys I'm trans until after the first date, and I do it by text or safety. Someone told me that's wrong, and I said, IMO, men and women should be able to press charges against shit like this.
I agree with this tweet.
Yes.
I agree
It's
with
assault.
I agree with this
Absolutely.
tweet. I think it should be disclosed before even the
Straight
first
to jail.
date.
Straight to jail.
Before the first date, I think you gotta,
True. I always tell guys that I do OnlyFans before I would ever
That's true.
move forward because I think that's
we had a
not
prostitute.
for everybody.
What do you think about this one? We had a prostitute who came on the show who slept with thousands of men. And she would be on dating apps, and she would not disclose the fact to these men on dating apps that she was a prostitute. Now, look, nothing legally compelling her to do it, but I would say there's a more moral or ethical.
Well, diseases.
Yeah, but I just
Well,
don't-
let's say, just for the sake of argument, she didn't have any diseases. Not sure if that's the case.
I mean, you should say
But
it's a big part of
I
who
still
you
think you
are.
should probably tell somebody before going on a date
It
with
would-
them that you're a whore.
Yeah, imagine if the guy was seen.
Literally, I'm not saying that to be just.
And if
literally, she's a
anything,
whore.
just because what if he finds out not from you before? That would be a whole messy situation.
That would be very
better
messy.
just to disclose it.
That would
and
be
that way,
super messy.
Take it or leave it.
Yes, very messy. It would be super. Next tweet, I guess. If a man would slap you in any context, he's sick and dangerous. There's no way around it.
Unless it's a kinky, consensual thing.
Wait, so hold on. Any context?
I personally would not like that. I just think any man that would slap a woman in any context is
You never know.
abusive.
You never know.
I-
You might, if you felt safe with a man and he had like a thing to
I
slap
would
your
not
ass
feel
or
Oh,
something.
that's not
safe
what
with
she's
a man
talking about.
physically.
Oh, okay.
No, no.
What about in self-defense?
Sure, but that's not what I was.
Well, that's a context, though.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're in a violent altercation, yeah.
Got him.
No, what if it's your girlfriend and she starts smacking you around a bit first?
I mean, it's a violent altercation.
Okay, so you're fine with it in that context.
Yeah, I mean, if I had a son and I knew that he was being
Italy
abused,
says no.
No,
No?
I don't think no.
He could
Because
hold her
the-
down, like hold her arms.
Yeah, whatever. Like the strength is different, and that's a fact. So like, you should not do it anyways. Like you
Well,
like
I don't understand that. So, like, let's say that there was a really weak guy who punched you in the face. Why couldn't you punch them back in the face because you were a really strong guy?
I think it's situational. Like if you know
Okay,
you're
I let her
bigger-
answer. Hang on. So to you, if a really weak guy punched you in the face, if you were a man, what would be the problem with punching him back?
I think if you know you're bigger as a man, and you can just handle her, like set her aside or walk away.
you should
then-
not touch a woman anyways. Like
No.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that doesn't make sense. Again, so I'm going to ask the question. You got a strong guy and a weak guy, and the weak guy punches the strong guy in the face. What is the problem with the strong guy punching him back in the face?
Nothing.
Okay, well then you would apply that same logic to women, right?
Yes.
Just because you're weak doesn't mean that if you punch a guy in the face, you don't get what's coming to you back, right?
I guess I'm viewing it as in the perspective of a mother because I want to be a mother. You know, when I go out on dates, I think about the mom. I don't know, I'm weird. I would not like to hear that my son was being abused, but maybe I should look at it as, you know, that's a woman. I don't know. I'm kind of conflicted.
On what? I don't understand what you're conflicted on.
In a situation
if a woman
where
strikes
a woman
a man,
was abusing a man, yes.
Yeah, if a woman strikes a man, why does she get like a get out of getting decked in the face card? I don't get that.
I mean, I don't know.
She shouldn't.
Yeah,
I'm
I don't
kinda
know either.
conflicted.
I've never really actually heard a good objection to this.
Yeah, I
I've
don't
heard,
know.
well, because they're not as strong as men, but it's like, okay, but that objection never comes up when weak men get beat up by strong men because they hit strong men. So why do women get the pass?
Yeah.
They shouldn't.
I mean,
They
I don't
should know better and
Well,
keep their hands to
Yeah.
themselves. in the
I
first
will
place.
say though, our bones and our skeletal structures are physically weaker. So even then, a smaller, weaker man would still have a stronger skeletal structure than a female.
Yeah, but nobody's going to cry over a weaker man getting smacked, right? So why are they
I know,
gonna
that's
cry
what I'm
over a
saying,
weaker woman
because-
getting smacked if a weaker woman punches a man, like, well, she gets what's coming back to her, right?
Well, what I'm saying is it poses the woman, a greater danger by being hit by the man than a man hitting another
I guess you
man.
shouldn't hit men.
Well, yeah, I mean, in a perfect
Yeah.
world, but we had to pick a.
Well, what do you mean a perfect world? Like, it's an imperfect world. I'm just saying, if a woman stands up and punches a man and then gets knocked unconscious by the man, not only do I not see a problem with that, but I actually think it should happen. I think he should do that. I think his priority should be to put her on her ass, and I don't think she'll ever do it again, right? Like, that's the point.
It's simple common sense. Keep your hands to yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
obviously like
Don't.
that.
Put
Okay.
your
And
hands
the men can get restraining orders against women. I have a restraining order against me from a guy who has a assault and battery charge against me, and they let him get a restraining order against
That's
me.
38. But here's the thing.
It's so funny.
Here's the thing. The thing is like, look, I get that, but I don't know how that's really an objection to me saying if a woman. Now, I think that you should just not attack people, right? You should just not attack people. But if you are a person who just can't help yourself but attack somebody, and that person defends themselves, I just can't think of a good objection other than, well, they were defending themselves. I don't know why the fact that they have a vagina gives them some special pass on this.
Well, because our whole skeletal structure is weaker than a male
don't
skeletal
hit men.
structure. Our
Then
bones
don't
are
hit
more
men.
fragile.
Well,
Well, yes,
it's
of
like
course.
okay, so Desiree, okay,
I'm simply explaining why people would have a problem with it.
Hang on, let me engage with this. Desiree, if a man went over and punched a gorilla in the face, what do you think would happen to him?
He would probably be dead.
Yeah, the gorilla would rip him limb from limb, right? Would you, if you read in the newspaper, stupid man punches gorilla in the face and gorilla then beats man to death, would you be like, what a dumb fuck? Or would you go and be like, my God, how could this gorilla have done such a horrific thing to this
I'm
poor
not
man?
arguing
His
with you
bone
there,
structure-
Andrew.
His bone structure,
No.
it's not even the same as that of a gorilla.
I think you
How could the gorilla
misunderstood.
do such a thing?
I think you misunderstood what I was saying. I was simply saying that is why society has kind of this double standard. That's all I was saying. I'm not saying that the woman should go assault the man.
Yeah, right. But I'm not interested in kind of these greater caveats of, well, this is why society thinks X, because that's not the argument that I was making. I wasn't making the argument about what society thinks. I was making the argument for what Andrew Wilson thinks. What Andrew Wilson thinks is that if dumb, weak person punches really strong person and gets knocked the fuck out, that's what you get. It seems really simple to me. Just like if you attack guy weaker than you, he pulls out gun and ends your life, that you get what you get, right? This is just how it works.
You reap what you sow.
Don't attack people,
You reap
and then
what
you don't
you
have to
sow.
worry about it, right?
I would concede you reap what you sow. So yeah, ladies, keep your hands to yourself.
Yeah. That seems reasonable. I've never actually heard a good objection to this. It's just like women go, but I should be privileged enough to just punch men in the face and have them do nothing. It's so bizarre to me.
Women need to understand that between men to men, talk shit, get hit. Like, guys deal with each other differently than women deal with each other. And I'm not saying that to a woman, you talk shit to a man, get hit. I'm not saying that. But men socially have different ways of dealing with each other. And most of that revolves around the physical in some cases, or in most cases. But women have another way of dealing with each other that in a nonviolent form. The fact of the matter is, if you pick a fight that you can't back it up physically, maybe don't pick that fight.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's a wise idea.
And honestly, I will say this, that I have had 2 long-term relationships. One was a traditional, like me as the submissive, him as the dominant. That relationship never got physical. No matter how toxic it was, never got physical. I jumped to trying like a non-traditional relationship, like an open relationship with a more feminine guy who let me like run the show.
Was this the toilet guy?
The what?
The toilet
That's
guy?
39.
No. That was just a
Can
friend.
you tell us that story really quick?
Do you want me to finish the one story, then jump
No,
to
I'd
that?
rather just hear the
Okay,
toilet
so
story.
that was just a friend, a consensual BDSM dynamic where I was going deeper into handling more and more intense sexual experiences.
So what was it?
So he had,
In order to heal your trauma.
yeah, it really did.
Yeah,
Because I
very
had
good.
those same
I know I read it in your
traumas
book.
on my
I
mom's
read it
side.
in your book, right? Yeah, you had
No,
to
I
fuck
never
a bunch
talked
of
about
dudes
that.
to
Yeah,
heal
just
your trauma.
tell us the story.
Okay, so his
The short
biggest
version.
fantasy, he was my daddy, I was his baby girl in the BDSM dynamic. So his
this
biggest
one.
fantasy was that he would hold my head in the toilet while he was fucking me in the ass, and I let him. We did this whole like reenactment of the thing consensually.
What?
And we had like the safe words and the gestures and the
You
whole
had that same
situation.
experience or what?
So I learned that I could take it. I was like, oh, I got it. I could do this thing, guys.
Hold on.
What were you thinking?
It was like a bucket list thing. I had never done that intense of an experience, and many, many men actually do have these more violent fantasies. My theory being because our Creator gave us this kind of conduit to transmute all of these kind of violent
I'm sorry to the world.
tendencies in
Please
men.
don't listen to this. I'm sorry for her. I'll pray for her.
Anyway, so the man felt very blessed that I allowed him that experience. He could never find any other woman who was willing to do it, and
Just because we have free will doesn't mean we should use it.
anyway,
That's
I liked
crazy.
it. I'm
That's
an anal
wild.
girl, you guys. I'm like, I have a whole cult following of ass fetish guys, so
That-
it's my thing. Butt stuff.
that's-
I'm
yeah.
your mamacita. Come see how to do it.
Ew.
That's fucking
You know, like
disgusting.
butt stuff. No butt
I wanna
stuff
go
for you
home.
guys, Andrew. Is that a sin in your ideology?
I've seen all of your
Butt
fucking
stuff?
butt that I ever want to see, Desiree.
I know,
Whether I
true.
want
Poor
to see it or
Andrew.
not, you want to make sure that I see it.
Poor Andrew had to see my white cellulite, almost 40 ass. Sorry,
Yeah,
Andrew.
it was pretty gross.
I
must
had
admit.
underwear on. I did have underwear on, just to clarify.
So, we have it, if you guys want, it's on the Discord. Discord.gg/whatever if you want
It
to see
is.
it.
18 and over, guys. 18 and over,
It's
for God's
posted on
I
the
want
sake.
to see
Discord.
it.
You don't want to see it, though. We have it posted there. You don't want to see
It's
it.
like the gates of hell
This
will
went
open
viral
up. The gates of hell
worldwide.
itself opens up.
It's
and you
true.
have to see what it's like when this geriatric woman tries to sexually assault a happily married man.
But you guys, it's a
awful.
real ass,
It's the
okay?
most
I have
god-awful
not
thing that
gotten
you've ever
a
seen in your
BBL.
life. Brian, poor
Real
Brian, I knocked him. I
milk
got
ass.
up. Shut up, Desiree. I got up and I bowled Brian over. I shouldered him to the side in order to get away from the devastation of hell itself opening up. Right,
That's true.
right there in front of me.
It was like
I
And
had
they,
to do
they
it.
have like
Yeah,
a
it was
support
awful.
group
It was
of men
Brian
online
later came to me. We
for
had this
their mental
conversation.
health.
Not about you, Desiree. It's about me now. So Bree and Brian had this conversation afterwards. And Brian was like, Andrew, why did you do that? Why? And I told him my zombie apocalypse theory, which is I don't have to run fast. I just have to run faster than you. Right? So the thing is that
And I was
will
trying to back it
totally,
up. I was
I'll
trying to back it
totally
up.
maim Brian on my way out so that the bear gets him. Absolutely. I'm that kind of friend. And I did do that. I shouldered him to the side and I rushed away
The whole debacle.
to try to get poor Brian.
He threw you
had to
right
take
under the
brunt
bus,
of it.
Brian.
It was very traumatizing.
Right under the bus.
It was very trauma. How are you going to help him with his trauma of his close friend Andrew Wilson leaving him high and dry,
I mean,
like
maybe that's
shouldering
why
to
I'm
the
so
side?
clingy. I'm probably clingy to him. I'm like, just in case I like ruined your life, I'm here. You ruined my life too. So if
Yeah.
you're lonely, me too. Here I am.
Okay.
It's like that.
Hey, Desiree, can I ask you a question about how you wrote Brian a bunch of DMs about how you're his soulmate and how great
Oh
he
my
is?
God, Brian, bring
and
up the
how,
picture.
how you literally threw
Bring up
yourself
the
at him in a
soulmate sketch. Do you have
desperate
it?
bid, in a
could find
desperate
the email.
bid to get in his pants. No, hang on. Let me finish first before you start talking. You threw yourself at him in a desperate bid to get Brian
very
Atlas's
forward.
pants.
Very forward.
Why did you do that?
Honestly, I really have like a respect crush on the guy. He's built this whole platform that is something I aspire to. He's a handsome man. I love the beard. He's
Yeah,
he's
sure,
good
he's a
with
brilliant guy.
leadership.
I agree that
puts
he's
me
a
in my
brilliant guy.
place.
But Desiree, you have no fucking chance with a guy like Atlas. Like, what are you doing?
Well, that's why
No
I'm just
fucking
kind of like
chance.
this groupie. I'm kind of like, can I be like your free personal assistant? Can I bring you food? I'll sit
Yeah.
over there. Anything.
So desperate.
Anything.
Desperate.
I'm a Brian Atlas cock worshiper, I guess you would say. And he has an
Desperate.
ass. He has ass. That's rare.
What?
I feel like we can relate to
Bruh.
each other because not every white person has an ass. It's a thing.
I guess we do have that in common.
We have extra soul, Brian. God gave us an extra measure of soul, and the black community will agree.
What are you talking about? That's not an ass. It's a drooping pile of garbage that you tried to chase me out of
You'll
the
have
room
to
with.
subscribe.
What are you talking
to see.
about?
You'll have to
So I
subscribe.
have a question. Most of the things that you listed and the attributes that you look up to in Brian or look towards on Brian were mostly related to the podcast. So are you sure you're not clout chasing?
We could call it that. I do have pretty severe intimacy issues relating to men taking advantage of me. And so I think at this point in my life with children and everything, I'm more looking for an equal partner to collaborate in life with more than like a traditional relationship anymore. So if you want to put it in that category, sure.
Yeah.
Brian,
Interesting.
I think that the Whatever podcast deserves, your chat deserves, and my chat deserves to hear it from your mouth. Directly from your mouth. I will not tolerate this slander against my pal, Brian Atlas, any longer. Brian, can you unequivocally say to Desiree's face, there's no fucking chance in hell ever?
Yeah, there's no chance in hell ever. I would not. Sorry, Desiree. I mean, look, you sent me these walls of text.
You
I
gotta
don't-
show
I
him,
don't
at
read
least show
them.
him the soulmate
You
sketch.
she also, I showed it to
I
Andrew.
could find
I showed
the
Andrew the
email.
soulmate text.
I mean, it looks
Guys,
like you.
this chick went to like a psychic.
Sketch soul. You know those?
Sketched
I like was so
What
lonely
her
one night.
soulmate looks like.
You got to show him, Brian. You gotta
exactly
Do I have
like
to
it.
show the soulmate
I'm not
sketch?
show him,
normally
bro.
like that, but
I don't know
You
if I
gotta
can
show
even.
him.
Dude,
I mean,
don't
it
even
is
know
weird.
What,
And then all of a
it
sudden,
does
a
actually
friend
look
said,
like
"Come
me.
to this show." I got totally blindsided. I had no idea. I never would have met you. Like,
It does kind of look like
random.
me, though, is the
I was
weird
trying
thing.
to do like women's empowerment niche of the internet. I wasn't
Maybe
like
a friend.
in
The
this
sketch does look
man's
like me.
world. I had no idea.
I would, Desiree.
It's weird.
You're crazy.
Do you want me to find it and DM it again? I mean, you guys, it's
Okay, listen, the chat deserves to see this.
We'll see the
Brian.
sketch. We'll see the sketch, but you have to
sketch.
find it. You have to go find
Okay.
it.
Yeah, but stick around. Maybe towards the end of the show, you can reveal the sketch of doom.
I will show the sketch.
It is-
Wait, are we going to get a Rachel cameo? What's going on?
Oh, yes, please.
We can get a Rachel cameo.
Perhaps.
Oh, hey,
It may
Desiree's here.
happen.
I thought that
Desiree's
the
here.
soulmate was Eminem, truth be told. And then,
What
because
the
it kind of
fuck?
could look like Eminem
What?
within like.
I think she
golden
wants to
years.
meet Desiree in person. Honestly.
Oh,
Who?
okay.
Wait, who wants to meet me?
All right. Well, okay, just send it to the whatever Instagram, then I'll have Austin
Okay.
pull it up.
Okay. It is, I mean, come on. It's. I don't know. Never say never. I feel like I could make Brian a shitload of money. I feel like I could bring you just as much money as you could help me make, and I think that's what. I don't know. It feels like we could have a mutually beneficial relationship.
Yeah, but you see, you have to understand that good Brian over here, he's moving towards the pathway of God and not towards the pathway of the pimp. Isn't that interesting?